I broke into a garage. So if you watched my video a couple days ago about my upcoming content, you know what I'm about to do. And that is do a quick overview of Jim here. So the last time you saw Jim, he was all broken down. I was in the middle of my teardown. So what I'm going to do right quick is go, well, it's not real quick, it's going to be about 10 minutes, show you how I put Jim back together. Head builds, head install, putting timing chain, cam in, all those things, including a test drive. So stick around to the end for the test drive. So I'm going to get right at it so you can see how I put it together, and then watch for future content on all the detail of how I put it together, because I've got a lot of content right there. It just takes way too long to do it in one video. All right, let's get started. So what I've done is I've lubed the chain up using the driven assembly grease. I just put some grease on my hand and just slid it around and kept doing that until I felt a good even coat across the chain. So I've used the cam sprocket. I'm putting everything at dot to dot, basically zero advance, zero retard, just to see where I'm at. Number one piston is brought up top dead center. It's lined up dot to dot. And I have this in here just kind of hand tight on the cam bolt, because I have a feeling that I'm going to be changing this here shortly. Okay, I got the cylinder head back together, clean and painted. Okay, I'm about to start putting head bolts in. I'm just going to get them all in right now and hand tight, and then I'll come back and do my torque sequence later. So I do have the ARP bolts, which come with the ARP in the fastener assembly lubricant. So on the upper bolts in here, which is what I'm going to put in first, I'm going to use the lubricant on the threads and the heads and the washer. So on the lower bolts, I'll do everything except for the threads. I'll use my sealant on the threads, the Permatex sealant, because those lower ones all go into the water jacket. So just get ready to make a mess, dauber on there. Just kind of do a few little lines there. They don't take a whole lot. Chamfer goes to the head side of the bolt. I like to spin it just a little bit there. Daub that little bit that comes out on the washer side. Honestly, this just looks like a graphite base substance here. Anyways, I'll slap one in here. You're going to get messy doing this. Just want to note the ARP bolts are 9/16 head. Okay, when I've got the threads clean, everything should go in by hand. Just like that, right there. So, I'll put them on together just because it's a little easier. Pick the one all the way in the back. That's the hardest to reach to show you, but they all got to go together. Okay, got the intake manifold on the vehicle, and now what I'm doing is put all my bolts in and make sure I have the right bolts in the right locations and that they thread in. That means the intake manifold is aligned up correctly. And what I'm doing now is I'm just starting to zero torque, which is just kind of run the bolts down till they touch. Okay, now that I have all the bolts zero torqued, I'm going to go ahead and start the torque sequence. Okay, torquing is complete. The intake manifold is now installed. Okay, I'm getting the exhaust on, and I'm using the red high temp RTV on my exhaust connections. So there's no gasket on these buggers. That's why I'm using that as a little extra protection, because this is old. It's been together a few times, so it's not going to come together like something brand new. Okay, it's about that time. Everything's together. All I have left to do is put the battery in and then simple start. Prime it a couple times, make sure I got fuel pressure up, check for fuel leaks, and then go ahead and simple start. So what I've done on this is I've pulled the intake manifold off and the valve covers in the head and the timing chain. All this stuff I've pulled apart, and I've done a home rebuild on heads. I used the Trick Flow valve spring kit, the 2500 100. I went in and did a little bit of light porting on them, did the new valve seals, put the heads back on. For the cam, this is a non-HO engine, so it has a different firing order. It's the old 302 289 firing order. I've used the Explorer cam, and then I've went in and timed that at 8 degrees advanced timing on the crankshaft, which is 4 degrees on the camshaft, because the camshaft turns at half the speed of the crank, right? So I have some advance built into there. Got it all together. I'm running a 1.7 rocker on this. Other than that, I didn't do any more changes to it. It ran the way it was. So this is just some good updates, rebuilding the heads. And I wanted to go to the HO firing order. So that's the one thing that did change going to Explorer cam, is that changes my firing order, ignition firing order, and also changes my injector firing order. So the question is, did I get everything put back together, and what's going to happen? So, did a little test drive with Jim, and you maybe wonder, why is there mud all over the inside of my car? Well, some goofball wannabe car mechanic builder left a shop rag underneath the hood and it fell down on the header. So, yeah, that was exciting. No real harm done, but I did hurt the feelings of that rag. So anyways, on to the test drive. Alright, that's another one wrapped up. So, if you like what you see, make sure to hit that like, hit subscribe, hit that bell right there. Don't be afraid to comment. So, I'll see you next time. Broken Tool Garage.